Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Good Governance Summit 2014 with the theme Good Governance through Open Government and Sustainable Procurement. May I call on the Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management, Honorable Florencio B for his welcome remarks and summit overview.
His Excellency President Aquino, my colleagues in the Cabinet, our compatriots in civil society and the business community, our development partners and the diplomatic community, ladies and gentlemen, allies in reform, thank you and good morning. We have gone past the midpoint of the Aquino administration. The year that has passed, 2013, was a truly remarkable year, a historic year for our country. Last year, we achieved exceptional feats, most notably our robust economic growth that outshines our neighbors and are being upgraded into a higher level of competitiveness despite the uncertain global situation. All of these are fundamentally due to the improved state of governance. Ginawa nating posible ang dati tila ba imposible. But as we achieve a lot, so are we expected to do more. At the same time, we also face seemingly insurmountable challenges. The outpouring of our people's outrage due to abuses in the use of pork barrel funds, as well as the unprecedented calamities that ravage many parts of our country. Our people's demand for honest, responsive, and compassionate government has heightened much more. All of these have placed our country and our people at a critical historic juncture, where we have a great opportunity to pursue real transformation in our society. Ang mabibigat na mga krisis na hinarap natin bilang isang bansa, kung tutuusin, talaga ring oportunidad upang isulong ang pagbabago sa ating lipunan at matamo natin ang inclusive development. Now more than ever, our people are interested in knowing more about how government operates. They are more and more impassioned about participating in statecraft. Now more than ever, we are being mandated to deepen transparency, accountability, and citizens' participation in the systems of governance. And rest assured, the current administration, led by President Aquino, is ever more deeply committed to our continuing journey along Daang Matuwid. Today, we hold this Good Governance Summit not to brag about our achievements in the past 3 years, but to solidify the steps that we need to take moving forward in the next 3 years. Moreover, we are here to deepen our commitment and partnership with the people in pursuit of transparency, accountability, and participatory governance. We know that we in government cannot do it alone. Our bosses to link arms with us towards the path of reform and prosperity. In the years that passed, we have witnessed what we could collectively achieve if we enable active citizenship. After all, President Aquino won because of the people's aspiration for a better government, a government that primordially and solely serves the people, a government bound by its social contract with the Filipino people, a government rooted in the spirit of people power. Our summit over the 3 days will be both a celebration of what we have collectively achieved and an exercise of deepening our commitment to the social contract. Today, we are presenting our good governance initiatives, our game plan for transforming governance systems, opening public institutions to the people, and giving voice to the voiceless. From now to 2016, we have outlined specific reform initiatives for increasing transparency, accountability, and citizens' participation towards curbing corruption, improving service delivery, and increasing our economic effectiveness towards empowering our people. For instance, this morning, we are launching in the President's presence the cashless purchase card system, which we are piloting in the armed forces. This afternoon, we will have breakout sessions on specific reforms like grassroots participatory budgeting. The SWS Enterprise Survey on Corruption will also be launched this afternoon. This and many more are all geared towards empowering our citizens to play a more active role in the processes of statecraft. Our reforms will be for naught if our citizens do not have a role in it, more so if they do not see the concrete and meaningful benefits of reform in their lives. Tomorrow, we will launch a subset of our game plan for empowering our citizens, Open Data Philippines. Through this reform, vast amounts of government data, including data on government expenditures and procurement, will now be easily accessible by our people in usable electronic format rather than in hard copy, and for free rather than with a fee. Empowerment requires us to arm our citizens with data that they can use to make informed decisions on public matters. Open Data Philippines, to a significant extent, fulfills our promise of enabling every citizen to exercise his or her right to public information. On Friday, we will be celebrating the 10th year of our Government Procurement Reform Act in our continuing journey to ensure efficient, transparent, and effective government procurement. The enactment of the Government Procurement Reform Act in 2003 is a major milestone in the history of governance in the Philippines. It has standardized processes, opened up the arena for competition, and put emphasis on transparency and accountability. It is, as I also wish to note, a reform that was made possible through active civil society involvement. We are definitely better off with the GPRA than without it. But 10 years into implementation of GPRA, we must address shortcomings in procurement regulations and processes and make this responsive to times, such as urgencies brought about by climate change. In conclusion, certainly all of the 6 years of the administration may not be enough time to fully transform public institutions and achieve the ideal government that we all are dreaming of. Certainly, reform cannot happen overnight. But certainly, we have moved forward in an unprecedented way. We have made possible what was seen before as impossible. And certainly, we have a great opportunity to further pursue meaningful and irreversible reform. We must deepen the practice of good governance in bureaucracies. We must nurture the collective passion of our citizenry for reform and create more channels for their constructive engagement in governance, even if such expresses itself in differences in opinions and approaches. Now more than ever, we should deepen our partnership with our people as we continue our journey along the daang matuwid. Our victory depends on you, our bosses. Ang dating baluktot, tinuwid na natin, or patuloy nating tinutuwid. Wala nang balikan sa dating nakagawian. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, Secretary Abad. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to one of the highlights of this morning's program, the ceremonial turnover of the cashless purchase card system. Once again, may we request Secretary Abad to give an overview of the cashless purchase card. Sir?
The cashless purchase card system that we are launching today is a follow-through on an issue that we addressed early on in the Aquino administration. If you will recall, in 2011, the issue of the alleged conversion of funds in the military was exposed to the public. It purportedly involved billions of pesos in funds supposedly for the hiring of soldiers, but which were converted to other uses, including certain use purposes. With the military leadership committed to President Aquino's reform agenda, we ended this decades-old and deeply ingrained practice. Immediately after the exposure of this issue, we withheld the release of funds for unfilled personnel of the uniformed forces subject to the submission of a complete roster of active military personnel. We also segregated funds for the filling up of unfilled positions under the Miscellaneous Personal Benefits Fund to be released only upon the submission of pertinent documents for the hiring of personnel. We also instituted other reforms to rid military rosters of supposed ghost soldiers and ghost pensioners. On the latter, we have instituted a system of pension payments through the ATM with identity verification via biometrics. This is a system that does away with the old checking system, which is susceptible to abuse. I dare say that these reforms, like many others, would not have been made under a status quo presidency. Moreover, I dare say that these reforms were only made possible because the leadership and rank and file embrace the core values of transparency and accountability. Ending conversion, however, is not enough. We look into the underlying reasons why this had happened in the first place. These included government processes like procurement that were not responsive to the nature of urgent military operations. Recognizing the operational intricacies of our uniformed troops, while not sacrificing the need for tighter accountability in public expenses, we came up with the cashless purchase cards system that we are launching today. Through this innovation, expenses for a limited menu of items can now be done fast, and liquidation can also be done in an instant. The cashless purchase cards that we are launching today is but one of our many technology-enabled reform initiatives to improve the speed, efficiency, and transparency of government expenditures. These are all about building a government that is responsive to the needs of our people and that uphold the people's interests as paramount. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Secretary Abad.